Yeah, well, g'day there. Just sort of thinking there before about a bit of a story. When I was a youth worker working out at Mount Isa there, this one young fella from community out there, I was working with him, and he's only a young fella, and sort of said to him there one day around breakfast, we read the paper there and looking at some stories. I said to this young fella, I said, boy, what do you want to do when you grow up there? You know, what sort of job you want to do when you grow up? And this young fella lived on community. He said, Brad, he said, I haven't grown up yet. And like from an early age, I really valued that input from role models in my life, you know, extended family members, uncles and that. And really like from the age of 6, sort of growing up in camp environments out where my uncle used to be an opal miner, and you know, we used to go riding bikes and driving bulldozers and catching pigs and shooting goats and all that sort of fun stuff, you know. And as a young man, I was sort of grown up valuing that input from older male role models in my life. Yeah, well, I'm just thinking about Paul and Gay's place out at Surat there. Like all that area, they were badly affected by them floods. 16 kilometres of water come through, and he lost everything. Water went halfway up his house, all the way through. Lost his semi-trailer, it went under. All of his machinery went under, silos, all of his grain. He had 2 grain silos way out the back there. We went down there, and sort of sometimes, you just, when you look at something yourself, when there's only you and your wife out on the property, somebody just might look at it a bit different. And I said to Paul, I said, let's just cut a big hole in that manhole and let's just shovel it out. And Paul sort of thought, no, that's too big of a job, but anyway.
Hey, look, no hands.
We had 2 young fellas, Delroy and Darry,
We'll make a tractor
and
drive
Brian,
down
myself, 4 of us.
About 10 tonne of grain we've emptied.
2 days, we shoveled 10 tonne of grain out.
Oh, look at him. He's
It's sort of like when Paul was there cooking feed and all that to keep us going, because by the end we were pretty buggered.
Oh, look, you've got a good load too. Good on you, Darry.
We were sitting back and looking at it, and Paulie just broke down sort of crying there, and it was happy crying that, you know, it was just something that he could have never done by himself, and that's just good, because that's community working together and helping each other out, and that's what we're trying to bring back now, is that volunteer spirit, you know, helping another mate out, you know, just a mate, give him a hand out to give others a hand up, you know, and that's WYLD Projects, just lending a hand and rural aid assistance, having a go, you know. So that's it. So, you know, getting back to WYLD Projects here now, you know, I'm a 43-year-old man, been involved with working with youth for quite a number of years now, especially with Indigenous youth, and I've created these projects where youth live dreams. And look, you know, from these floods and all that sort of thing that's going on, going back out on properties now, and they're actually seeing how other people live, you know, seeing what sort of struggles and that they go through, and sort of sometimes takes the focus off themselves. It was sort of like these youths sort of were really taken back, and they said there, you know, when we were cooking the feed that night, they said, Brad, that's a bit of a spin out, eh, that lad crying. I said, brother, why you reckon he was crying? And they said, I suppose, you know, it was just us fellas coming out and giving him a hand. I said, yeah, that's right. I said, it just shows that other people care, you know. And I said to these boys, I said, it's not a program, this is just life, you know. That's normal life on properties, is going through flood, going through fire, losing everything, starting again, sort of everything, you know. And these fellas loved it, you know. And, you know, getting back in touch with their culture and back on country is pretty special. They appreciate it. It's better for their health. Yeah, well, heading out to Crosbie Station there too now. Been going out there since the floods. A lot of history there and significant sites on that property there too as well. Yeah, a lot of damage, like all of his fences washed out, a lot of his machinery there, pulled a few of his pumps apart and took a few motors back and pulled them all apart and fixed them up. He had a grader out there that was no good, so we pulled him apart too and went up to Newcrest there, up the gold mine, and got some welding rods there. We welded up all of his gear sprockets in that one day, and all his, you know, this young fella there, yeah, he come out there with us, so we've done all that machinery maintenance and welding and concreting and fencing and small machinery, and you know, driving them loaders, bit of muck around there. And Richard real impressed in what we want to do, and actually come on board and do some of the training with us out there on Crosbie Station, because he's another lad that just values training up young fellas. And so yeah, that's Crosbie Station. Yeah, and only last month, that big flash flood out there again, big storm come through. Actually, Richard was working down the creek and had to leave the loader in the creek because he couldn't get it out because it was raining. And that big wall of water come down and went straight over his loader. Sort of like you don't hear them stories on the news, but that's life in the bush.
Here.
And
13-year-old lad.
but anyway,
Where do you go to school, Matty? Gingin High. Righto, Matty. You enjoying yourself, brother?
Yes, but oh god,
What's the matter?
what's that?
We've got to do a bit of a creek crossing here. You don't need to go fast. Hey, the seat's moving. How you feeling?
Scared.
Scared?
Going to the creek.
Yeah, get your foot off the brake. On the accelerator a tiny bit, not flat out because it's a petrol. Righto. Accelerate. Oh, brother, you're a natural. How's that for your first creek crossing, brother?
Didn't expect it to go so well, but it did go well and it didn't conk out, so I'm happy.
There we are. It's going down to fix this creek crossing up. Matty's getting in the wrong side. Come on, Matty. Go down and fix this creek up. We've got Bob trying to get through. See if Matty can do this by himself. Oh, look at him, he's a natural. Righto. All day Matty's been showing how to drive this loader. He's having an induction. He knows what to do here. I'm just going to follow you back down to the homestead now, Matty. Now this is what it's all about. Taking these lads out on properties where they can experience a different lifestyle. That's why we created these projects where youth can live dreams, come out in an environment where it's non-threatening, and you know, they can just experience this sort of country. Helping property owners after the floods. You know, there's no silly questions out here. You're just out here to learn and experience different things. And look at them, hey? Unbelievable. First time he's driven a loader today. He's showing how to do it. Okay. Young fella having drums at school. Parents broke up when he was 5-year-old. All the support networks will go back into the community of Vingie now and Bundaberg, meet with his parents, share a few highlights, show them a few photos, empowering these young fellas, giving them confidence, you know, showing a bit of respect. Anyway, a little bit of a creek crossing the glacier up here. Alright, bye for now. See ya.
That's for sure. It always leaves me wanting more.
It's all part of where youth live dreams, coming out in the bush, getting the opportunity to drive different things and try different experiences.